A cool breeze with particles of sand brushed across Mulham's face, dragging the sweat with it. The hot desert air was oddly something he would miss, while leading his army into the human empire. In the far distance he could see the stone, brick wall built by the emperor himself to force Mulham's people to live in the inhospitable desert. Today that will all change. Mulham would drag his people, kicking and screaming, to a better life. One they did not have to limit themselves to oasis walkers for survival, and where they could have many children as they wanted, and eat as much as they could. Everything the desert denied them, the lands of the human empire shall grant them. Mulham took a moment to relieve all of the things he had to do to get the Chun unified. The men he had to kill, the wars raged. For a short moment, he was no longer at the front line, at the beginning of what would become a world-changing conflict, but instead back inside his hut, enjoying the luxuries, life of a chieftain who was in charge of most precious. Curious, Mulham had traveled north with the Oasis Walker to see if these lands were a reality, only to encounter a huge wall. As soon as Mulham got close enough, massive boulders were thrown from the wall at the Oasis Walker. Not being able to risk the Oasis Walker dying, Mulham directed the Oasis Walker away from the wall. During that night, a raid was commenced on Mulham's tribe. Mulham easily fought them off, but instead of killing them and giving them to the tribe shaman to use for magic, he asked to be brought to their leader. If they would not lead him to their leader, he'd simply torture the answer out of them. After much blood and fear being infused in the prisoners, eventually one relented and brought Mulham to the other tribe. Mulham would follow the prisoner to his tribe, and once he'd arrived would ensure that he meant no harm and wanted to talk to their chieftain. The chieftain named Al-Thuban would talk to Mulham, but only after they dueled, and if he won, understanding their customs allowed only those who were strong were respected, Mulham agreed. Chun formed a circle as Al-Thuban began amping himself up by beating his chest and yelling. Mulham was reacting in a complete opposite manner. He was calm and coldly logical, breaking down exactly how he could come out of this fight the victor. A horn was sounded, and Al-Thuban let a berserker rage and rushed Mulham, knowing how to fight a bigger opponent. Mulham stuck to the same fighting style he used to fight his tribe chieftain, that is, using speed to his advantage and letting his opponent to wear himself out. Al-Thuban let out a fury of punches as Mulham kept his distance and dodged, feeling the air let off by each missed punch. All Mulham had to do was wait him out, and as he was planning his next steps, Mulham felt a smack against his left cheek, falling straight to the sand. Al-Thuban knew he had to close the gap if he wanted to beat Mulham. Not only that, but he had to be faster than him, so he took to faking strikes and tricked Mulham to successfully get him to dodge straight into his attacks. Mulham got up and began to fight again, only to fall for the same trick over and over. He'd evade Al-Thuban's strikes for some time, only to trip up and get struck again. Eventually blood began to cover his eyesight, and his face was swollen. But he kept getting up only to be knocked down again. He couldn't allow himself to show weakness in front of this tribe. He couldn't lose. The fate of his people rested in the palms of his hands. He got up again after being hit, weighing from side to side. "Just accept that you've lost," Al-Thuban said. "You're embarrassing yourself. Face your death like a warrior." "I only lost when I'm dead," Mulham said, swinging at Al-Thuban and landing a connecting punch, dropping Al-Thuban on his ass. The crowd was shocked by Mulham's spirit and resilience, and a moment of silence came and passed as laughter could be heard coming from Al-Thuban. "I like you," he said, getting up. "You are a warrior to the end." Mulham, realizing he had been able to impress Al-Thuban, knew he had to convince him to end the fight and convince him to hear Mulham out. "Have you heard of my tribe?" Mulham asked. Taken aback, Al-Thuban stepped his approach to answer the question. "Yes, and I have heard of your name. Cowards from other tribes have abandoned their leaders to try and join you. Then surely you know how I've helped improve the quality of life for my people. I can help you do the same for yours." Al-Thuban's face contorted. Obviously what was happening didn't make sense to him. How can such a respectable warrior such as yourself want an easier life? These deserts is what crafted us into a strong people. The desert didn't do that. We did that ourselves, and we do what we must to survive. As long as we choose to hold on to our traditions, no matter where we are, we will still continue to be a people of strength. We shouldn't deny our children and wives a pleasant life out of this false ideal. Al-Thuban took a moment to think what he saw as a tough warrior speaking of something he'd expect would come from a coward didn't make much sense to him. The wall. Mulham said. I plan on attacking it, and I need strong warriors. The land that I plan on exploring and settling, we need to fight for them if we wish to live a better life. And it all made sense to Althuban. A better life doesn't come to someone, but rather they must fight for it. I'll join you, Althuban finally said as his tribe rang out in cheers. Althuban and his tribe would go on to become Mulham's most vicious warriors. Their dedication to fighting was higher than the average Chun. To have Althuban or one of his warriors on the battlefield almost definitely secured victory. Althuban and his tribe crafted a culture dedicated to fighting more than any other Chun due to their Oasis Walkers' close proximity to the Valentinian Wall. Routinely, they would attempt to take the wall only to fail due to a lack of numbers. Althuban would tell Mulham all of this after their fight. We're going to need more tribes to help us if we are going to actually make it past the wall, Mulham said with his chin in his hand. Yes, but before we go any further, you do not rule my tribe. Althuban was looking sternly at Mulham. You may lead this plan, but your authority stops at me. Don't tell any of my people what to do. Understood, Mulham said. The next phase of Mulham's plan was to find other tribes following the Oasis Walkers and convince them to join him in the upcoming invasion. He came across a tribe of Chun settled near the Forest Moor that have had multiple interactions with the Sheed. Relations between the Sheed and the Chun were positive, as the Sheed saw the Chun as in tune with nature and the relationship between the Oasis Walker and the Chun beneficial for one another. Eventually, Mulham would have had enough tribes joined together to create his army. From this point on, the Confederation of Al-Sahara would be created and Mulham's attention would turn to the Valentinian Wall. Mulham stood atop a dune looking out at the Valentinian Wall, his braided hair dancing with the wind. Mulham, everyone is in position. Give the word and we can begin, Althuban said, approaching Mulham. Mulham did not respond right away. A few silent moments would pass before Althuban would attempt to break the quiet, only to have Mulham beat him to it. The moment that horn sounds, the world will forever change. I've killed, been beaten, and bled for this moment. If it all goes wrong, we could end up living in these shitty conditions forever. Mulham, it won't go wrong simply because we cannot allow it to fail. You're right, if we do not succeed, you may live the rest of your days in this desert, but not me. I'll be dead in the plains made by God first. With that, the horn sounded, and the world was indeed never the same.
Alright, I have joined the voice chat. Also, I finished the video. You want to give me a little tiny outro, little gay, I mean, 16 men in a barn giving intros and outros together. Come on.
I'm thinking. Give me a second.
All right, I'd like to thank the voice actor for not inhaling with his nose. Let me think.
I told him about that. He was just like,
it's really important. I had to edit out a lot of those, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But it's for your health, bro. You shouldn't be doing this to yourself, okay? You're lowering your IQ.
All right.
And your test.
All right, ready?
All right, go.
All right. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you made it all the way to the video to the end of the.
All right, do it again.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the vid.
Wait,
if you made it all.
It's too loud. I'm lowering your audio. Okay. Try it.
Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the vid. If you did like it, make sure to smash that motherfucking like button.
Fuck. Okay. One more time.
Hey guys, thanks for watching to the end of the vid. If you did like it, make sure to give a big thumbs, big thumbs, big chungus. Make sure to leave a big chungus to help us with the algorithm, and make sure to comment what you guys thought of the video. I do make sure to read all the comments when there are some, because I like to take constructive criticism. If you're interested, we have a Discord server. The link to that will be left in the description. We have a little community going on there. We play Minecraft, we shitpost, all that good stuff. And stay tuned for the next one.
Also, do tell me if you prefer this voice acting or last episodes, or maybe the first video's voice acting. You know, we have three voice actors. Me, Marcus here, Marcus Aurelius, Emperor Revived.
And my boy Jerry.
And Jerry from Tom and Jerry. Yeah, we got two celebrities here.
Dude based.